reluctant to let me play outside with the neighbours, who, at 11, were far too old for my 8-year-old self to be associating with. Grandma brought another guest to join her in her babysitting duties. The guest was, instead, younger than me, but effective in their ability to surround me, draw out my fear, and keep me pinned 2 feet above the ground. This ritual included Grandma's wet cackle and audible breath in as she settled to watch me watch her guest. With my eyes closed and Lego blocks frozen between my fingers, I hear Grandma land the straining blue plastic bags on the kitchen table. Hoarded plastic boxes and tins stacked high are pushed to the side to make way for the okra, plantain, dried fish, severed chickens, and assorted dried meat. In the moments between her rearranging the table to hold all the food in its designated quarters and carrying the last bag towards me in the next room, the Lego slides from my warm hands. The red carpet cushions, the anticipated clatter of pieces. A gentle tremble starts up. I sink my fingers into the fibers, ready to move. I know what's next. Grandma elbows the door open, allowing the table to meet the dent it has long cultivated. A blue plastic bag rustles and fights its suspension in midair to create a pendulum swinging in front of her. Then behind, the bag hovers in front as she sets it down and levels the size to a mere inch. I study each movement in her hands as she watches me rise from my haunches and, guided by my fingertips, push up from the carpet to the edge of the sofa and rest. The crab ruffles out of the polymer and is silent. Years later, other crabs would scuttle sideways, the echo of their own claws meeting the newly laid wooden floor, propelling them forward. They would excitedly bump into table legs and storage boxes, or hide in the shadow of Grandad's inherited footstool. Now we watch a soft shell shimmer in the sun for a moment longer. Then Grandma tracks back to the kitchen, leaving the door open. Frozen in fear at this edible babysitter, my heartbeat roars to the sound of pots on the stove's metal grate, matching them decibel for decibel. The crab scurries closer towards me. I imagine its eyes starting left and right to navigate a path through the Lego, to reach the sofa, to make its way up. But it slows as it reaches the first piece. A still strange object. A pincer taps at a corner. The tip upends a block, which sends it rolling a few centimetres. The crab shivers, appearing to shake off the sudden movement, and effortlessly tip-taps away to stand between me and the door, standing guard and keeping me in my seat. I'm brought out of my trance as I hear the click, 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 click of the gas stove, picturing the gentle whoosh of the flame licking the bottom of a pot before settling to warm it through. I hear a heavier pot hunk onto the stove, knowing it's filled with water, ready for the babysitter. The lid descends to heat it quicker. This crab stands between me and Grandma's rituals. If I had the courage to jump over, to dart around the crab, I would see Grandma silent and focused in the kitchen, a large metal spoon in her small grasp, fighting, then sliding through liquids, deft movements when lids became interchangeable, as a spoon is dipped momentarily into each pot. I would see sprinkles of now cooled oil parading themselves in the sunlight, adorning her wrist. I would see her reaching for bay leaves, for rosemary, for thyme, sprinkling and dashing in seemingly haphazard ways, but always measured. Then her stirring would come to a stop. The task changed now, as she steps backwards and sighs, settles onto a wooden chair, pouring Gary at speed into a deep wooden pot. Oh yeah, pass me the kettle. I would move to lift the white kettle from its stand and place it on the table, angled, easy for Grandma to reach, ready to watch her work. It wouldn't be until the golden hour that I could witness its ephemera eking out the blue in her skin, highlighting the precision in her movements, as she pounded the eba with the focus she demanded I have for my schoolwork. Grandma saunters in, heads straight for the crab, picks it up and leaves. I am forgotten.